Good day to all of you. I am the succeeding reporter after student 4, and we're going to continue the discussion about problems of groundwater and its protection. By the way, I am Person Joy Tilanarias. So let's begin. Let's recall groundwater. Since prehistoric times, groundwater has been an important resource that people have relied on for drinking, irrigation, industry, and so on. It is in fact the largest source of usable fresh water in the world. However, this doesn't mean that it has no problems at all in maintaining as a renewable source and at the same time sustainable. So this is where the problems of groundwater and its protection takes place. As the content of this report deals with the concepts about the groundwater problems and its solutions as a water resource, and we have the following objectives. First is to understand groundwater as a unsustainable water source. Second is to be aware with the problems it experiences. Third is to know the contributing factors leading to groundwater problems and to be able to incorporate it with the solutions given, of course. And lastly, to make mindful thoughts about how significant the groundwater as a water resource. The groundwater problems. The first groundwater problems, which is groundwater depletion, which was already discussed. So we're now going to tackle about the second one, which is pollution. It is one of the main environmental issues that groundwater faces. It may come from many sources. Pollution occurs when harmful substances get into the soil, and when it rains, the water washes the substances in the ground and carries it down into aquifers below. Pollution has several contributing factors, and the first one is agriculture. Agriculture pollutes groundwater as fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides soak into the ground. One example of it is the nitrates. The nitrates may come from fertilizers, and they are considered very dangerous since they were linked in birth defects, various cancers, and scourges. Second factor is the manufacturing industries. These are considered a major culprit that manufacture products containing different toxic chemicals like arsenic, lead, and zinc. When these toxic chemicals are improperly disposed, they may leach into the ground and soak in the groundwater below. Next is storage. Underground storage tanks like septic tanks can also leak sewage, waste, oil, and toxic chemicals into the ground, as you can see at the image in the left corner. The last factor is domestic wastewater. This is the main contributor of bacterial contamination to the groundwater supplies. And when these bacteria are present in the potable water, they may cause waterborne diseases like dysentery, diarrhea, cholera, hepatitis A, and many more. Domestic wastewater is categorized into two, which is the black water and the gray water, as you can see at the image in the left corner. Groundwater problems are not all human-caused. They can also be naturally occurring contamination, in which dissolved chemicals like methane making natural groundwater unusable. As you can see in the image above, the process is called fracking. So that's the first example. So what's fracking? Fracking is a drilling technology or a process in which water, sand, and chemicals are being injected into the rock, in which the gas flows out up to the head of the well for extraction of oil, natural gas, geothermal energy, or water for deep underground. And the fourth groundwater problem is unwanted effects of rising water tables. So we've known the negative consequences of sinking water table, but how about the rising water tables? So they were also considered dangerous since they may cause catastrophic damages, like it weakens the surface underground, which may trigger landslides and slumps, and these are usually caused by changes in precipitation between seasons and years. So as you can see in the illustration, there is a inconsistent of the height of water table, in which the water table rises and then falls. So after we've known the problems, the next step is finding out solutions in which the groundwater protection takes place. First groundwater protection we have is pollution prevention. These are the steps that are being taken to keep pollutants from reaching groundwater supplies. And we have an examples. First, when manufacturers used fewer toxic raw materials, and when consumers switch to less polluting household products, for example, phosphate-free detergents. And the groundwater conservation. It is to simply reduce the amount of water that we use in an efficient and mindful manner. It is basically to use the water wisely and avoiding wasting it. So as a conclusion, groundwater is an important natural resource that provides us much of the water for drinking, household use, irrigation, and many more. And take note, over one-third of Earth's population relies on groundwater, making it more vulnerable to humans. As water is the only resource that cannot be created by man, hence, groundwater is an essential when it comes to water generation, making it more vulnerable. Consequently, in every time we use it, equals the amount of chances we have in protecting it, whether in terms of groundwater quality, quantity, or both, since the responsibility of making no harm relies not on the nature itself, but with us. Besides, we are the one who needs it the most, not the other way around. As what the great Italian painter, architect, and engineer said, water is a driving force of all nature. So for inquiries, clarifications, or any questions, feel free to contact me with the given account. Thanks for watching.